Right. Okay, so I want to just go through this for a second because I know that there was a story that was floating around, and a lot of the guys were like, "Well, I don't." You start to quit. I mean, I heard things about some Philadelphia project where people were walking through a ship. Right. Okay. So now here's the thing. Whatever time patch it is, I know, this is in the most respectful manner. The black jacket with the red piping and the white pants. I can't really remember the color of your hats. I think they're white and black. I was watching from afar, let's call it, once, because I was trying to get an image that I could burn into my etch book so I could be, right, so their mastery of level, and then there's the masters of theirs that are really unknown. Right, I belong to that group. There is definitely a visual. I'll explain the scene so you know it's real. Of my betrothed up at a podium, speaking my favorite language, but I wasn't allowed to learn in New York. Waiting. I think we're wearing more of a royal, it's not a royal blue, it almost has a purple to it. It was more of like a navy blue is what I call it, almost like the black, but just a little different. I think if my eyes were correct, but again, sometimes, right. So anyway, so I walked through a cement block wall. It was like a brown color. I want to see. Yeah, it does look like diarrhea. I swear on the walls. I mean, like when you feed the babies too many things. Then you gotta change diapers. Yeah, that's where I'm at as far as the palette on that color. I mean, it's not pleasant to the eye, but it is what it is. Right, and it's like a cement block, and then it had like a white floor, and then I think there was even a yellow stripe going down the hallway at some odd height level, and he was sitting at a desk, a wooden, like not important desk, like one of the ones, right, my dad I think had. Oh right, Alexander was sitting at one when I was little in a cat's purple sweater with a cat on it. That was the day that we did film crew of me brushing my teeth for something, for real people with film crews, for one time on a real camera. They called it a commercial or whatever, an infomercial, like first infomercial. I don't know if it actually went on TV, but whatever, went on whatever he needed. So now let's think about this. So I walked through the wall and I'm like, yeah, and there was when I walked through on this side of I gotta think about this because I actually want to say it's on this side. Yeah, it's on this side of my body. When I walked through the wall, if he was in front of me looking at me, it was a tall, like, filing cabinet, the tall, skinny ones, like a beigey color, like a off-white. And so I walked through and I'm like, oh, wow. I was like, that is interesting. I was like, yeah, because, right, now I know that was paranormal, right? I was like, I can cognitively, now, that is interesting. How did that connect? Because, right, when they poof me into something, I'm just there, and I'm like, okay, like on scene, like on set, and I just, hi, and it just goes. Right, it's an awkward beginning to, like, I'm always quiet when I walk in a room, because I never know how I get there, but whatever. But that worked out really well, because I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm where I don't know what this is. I was like, but that was interesting, So that's how that started, and then, right, happy to see you, but then, gotta show you something, took me down the hallway, and then there was ceremony going on, and you at a podium saying something about, and you stopped, and you flipped to English, so I could understand in my Etch book, I suppose is the word, of, like, right, seamstress is a better word in English to refer, if we have to, with the class that you will speak with, because the word mistress is not it's one of those new categories of words that the boutique in New York has made not so pleasant. So, right, if you wanna keep respectful, I would say seamstress, because that's indicative of a tailor who makes clothing, an honest profession with a needle and a thread, as opposed to a mistress, which is right, prostitution. But again, I don't know how that translates to the understanding, right, of what they've got going on. So I would stick with seamstress and tailor, right? And then the not so nice word or a insult. An insult would definitely be mistress. Yeah, I mean, I actually like the word gumata rather than, and that's a Ramada word, not like a Hilton or Ritz-Carlton. It's like a Best Western, like low word on lodging, I suppose. Right. I mean, again, when you get to that level, it's like so embarrassing to go like, okay, so now we're like, I don't mind giving you the answers and helping you be successful, but it's like so embarrassing. It's like, no, this is not the way I portray myself, but this is where we're at in the broken world that I woke up in. I mean, I thought something respectable, paranormal events would be treated better, but clearly I was wrong.